Buenos dias and welcome back to another video, my friends. I hope that you're staying healthy and I hope that you're staying safe wherever you are in the world. Today on the channel, I want to talk about how I shoot time lapses on the Canon EOS R6. So today we are shooting time lapses up here in the city of Fullerton at the Panorama Nature Preserve. And it's been pretty rainy the last few hours of the day. It's rained about 5 hours today, which is a lot. It's our first significant rain of the season here in Southern California. It doesn't look like there's much in the near future, but we will take it. That being said, there's a few drops dropping here and there, but I love when we get a little weather because we just do not get weather out here. So just like I said, it is the Panorama Nature Preserve, and from this vantage point, I have almost a 360 view, which is really cool up here, and you kind of get to see everything in Orange County, and even off behind where this camera is shooting currently. I'm shooting downtown Los Angeles, which is about 20 to 30 minutes or 20 to 30 miles away, but you know, with traffic, it takes a few minutes to get there. It's still windy up here. The camera, I should have probably set it a little bit lower, but we'll cross our fingers and hope that everything is A-okay. So my absolute favorite way to shoot time lapses on the Canon EOS R6 is to use the camera's internal interval timer. And the first thing I do is I set up the camera's baseline settings. I'm at f/18, I'm at a shutter speed of 1/60, and I chose an ISO of 320 or 320. The reason I chose 320 on this day is because the sun was peeking in and out of clouds, and I knew, and at this point it's pretty much out of the clouds, but I knew it would be peeking in and out of the clouds when I started, so I wanted to save some of those highlights and make sure I wasn't clipping too much there in the highlights, but also have enough contrast when it did go behind clouds. So we'll see how that goes. And then on the interval timer itself, I just set the interval to every 5 seconds for unlimited number of shots. And here is the result. All right, I'm in my next position. I rushed down the hill a little bit from where I was up the hill there, and I was facing west. Now I'm kind of facing southeast. And the reason I came down here is I turned around and there was a little rainbow that was popping up. It was just a partial rainbow, but I wanted to see if I could include it in this time lapse. And I think I've had this set up for a little bit when I got down here, and it's going, so I might have a little bit of it at the start of the actual video, but we will see. But I'm using my second favorite way to shoot time lapses on the Canon EOS R6, and that is by using the video time-lapse feature. Now on the video time-lapse feature, what you can do is you set the video type that you want. So I'm shooting in 4K. I'm at 1/50th of a second. I'm at f/25, and I'm shooting at ISO 400. And what this does, it actually takes an image to the number of shots that you want to set. I think I'm shooting 500 shots at an interval of 5 seconds. and then it stitches them all together for you. Now the benefit of the first one that we shot up on the hill is that those are individual photographs that I can actually edit it in Lightroom and then stitch them all together and then make them a movie or a time lapse. This here is, you can still edit the video, of course, but it pretty much comes straight out of camera, pretty well set. Yes, of course you can edit some of the saturation and the exposure and colors a little bit, but if you want to really do that well, you probably want to do that on the other type, which is getting individual photographs that are shot in RAW, which those were shot earlier, and edited to your taste. So this is a cool way, and it's easy to do, and you get up and running pretty quick, and then you're off to the races, and then once it's done, it's going to manufacture a time-lapse video for you. All right, here is said time-lapse video. So I've walked back up the hill. I'm changing over from the 70 to 200 to the 15 to 35. I want to shoot really wide, so I'm going to shoot at 15 millimeters. And the last way to shoot a time lapse on the Canon EOS R6, or at least the ways that I shoot them, and that is to keep it nice, quick, and easy, and just shoot a video. So you're just going to set up your video settings. So on this camera, I'm going to go ahead and put it in movie mode. I'm going to shoot 4K, 24 frames per second. This is where it gets a little tricky because I want to, what time is it right now? We are about 45 minutes from the sun setting, so it's definitely going to drop down through the clouds that it's in right now and be fully exposed to the lens. So I'm going to obscure it a little bit, but I do want to get a little bit of that sun setting. So we'll see what I do here. I may put a polarizer on here. I'm definitely not going to put a ND filter on. I may change my mind. I don't know yet. It's going to be a game time decision. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to shoot at 1/50th of a second. I'm going to shoot at f8, and right now I'm at ISO 400, but that may change. So that's the quickest way to shoot a time lapse, is just to shoot a video and then speed it up in post in your video editing program. I'm actually checking the PhotoPills app, and I'm just checking to see where the sun's actually going to set, and it looks like it's going to drop right about there. So it gives me an idea of where I want to set the lens in terms of it blowing out the sky, or the lens kind of just obscured from the actual sun coming down. I think I figured it out. I'm not really sure, but we'll just go with it. I'm at 1/50th of a second. I'm at ISO 100, and I ended up at f16. So quite a few changes from when I started the actual thoughts on this, but I think it's going to turn out okay. The lower half, which is the valley here, is going to be definitely in shadows, but maybe I can lighten that up in post a little bit. But again, it's down and dirty. It's just a video, so maybe I can mask that area in a little bit better, but the idea is to just get these clouds and that sun setting through. So I'm going to let this run for as long. In fact, I think I need to change the battery out. It's not going to last. So we've got about, let's see, about 40 minutes until the sun's actually set. So I'm going to change out the battery. We're going to restart this, and we're going to run this for 40 minutes. Glad I just did that. One, I got a full battery in there now, but two, I had forgotten to put it on manual mode. You definitely don't want it ducking in and out of focus because it's auto-focusing. So, whew, sometimes you just need a checklist. You just need a checklist, everybody. All right, so we're gonna let this run for about 40 minutes and we'll go from there. All right, since this is the magic of YouTube, let's watch the time lapse. Well, right now, here it is. All right, my friends, that is going to do it. 3 different ways to shoot time lapses on the Canon EOS R. You can use the embedded interval timer, the time-lapse video mode on the camera, or you can just straight up shoot video, get your settings to your likings, and then speed it up in post. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Please like this video if you liked any part of it. If you had some fun with it, if you smiled, hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. Comment down below. I'd love to chat with you. And ring that bell to notify you of new videos when they are posted. I'm gonna see you on the next one real soon. I love y'all. Peace. Oh, shoot. Forgot to flip the camera around. Dang it, I'm a little distracted. There's a rainbow behind me. So I'm gonna, oh my gosh.